And it's live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to race 16 of 16. 2 months of incredible racing, over 30 drivers, 16 races, has come down to this, Abu Dhabi. I'm joined alongside Captain Limmy as usual.
You are. I thought that was Martin Tyler for a second. But we are live. Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit, the final race of the season finale. No better place to end it on a track that I personally really like. And also, Kez, a track that costs £800 million to build.
Well, there's one fact already. I'm sure we'll get a few facts out. I'll have one in the first minute of the stream. Yeah, welcome everybody. 16 tonight, possibly a couple more joining during qualifying. So once again, a superb turnout. And the turnouts all season have been terrific. We've not gone lower than 12 all season, which is fantastic. And the numbers have got better as we've gone along. I mean, it's been an incredible season. If you joined us for Silverstone last night, you were aware that obviously the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship was sealed. We had a feeling it would be sealed last night, so tonight is an opportunity for people to gain them last few points, maybe jump up a position or two and maybe gain that, you know, that place they want to achieve. The top 3's not done yet, there's the top 10's not done yet, and every single driver tonight has something to play for. And of course it's the last race, so what better way to go out and get a podium in the last race? There's already Renault come off, and it's Ryan Mills, I believe he stopped and waited for everybody. Actually, I thought he may have come off, but I think he's just stopped to get himself a bit of room. So we're in Abu Dhabi, as Jack said, the Yas Marina circuit. We've got 28 laps, 27 laps, 28 laps, yeah. And actually Jelly's retired now. I was going to touch on to this because a few of the lads, including obviously Jelly, the Drivers' Champion, and he did say he's going to start from the back tonight and challenge himself. You may see a little bit of that tonight. Jelly may not be the only one, so it could throw up a bit of a mixture.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we've said I was actually considering doing a full reverse grid of the standings, but I want to give everyone a chance to win who are not in the top 3. Especially like people like Jacko, who have been getting some consistent podiums for racing points. But before we get into some lads, let's talk about the track a little bit. I love it. It's a really fast-paced down to the chicane and then a hairpin. 2 DRS points. It's like a Brazil. You might have a chance at getting one first, but then you might get taken again 2 corners later. It's a great, tricky, technical third sector as well. It's a 3.45 miles, 21 turns, 12 left, 9 right. It's anti-clockwise, of course. 21 turns that me and Kez have got to navigate. I'm sure Kez has a couple more stats that he's done some research on. But the main factor of tonight, we have started early for the season finale. We started the stream, well, Kez started his stream, but as qualifying started, 18 minutes for the drivers to put in their quickest times, and there's a couple of people out now.
There is a couple of people out now to try and get set the pace, if you like, and get that early good lap in. We are on board with Funny Old Shimp in the Williams. We'll stay on board with him for now. Well, I'll just copy the link to the stream and get it out there for people to tune in. But yeah, it's been an incredible season. It seems like ages ago since that opening night in USA when I actually raced. I wasn't a commentator. I raced and got second. It seems like absolutely years ago. And I never thought that this... We'll get a bit soppy tonight, and we're already starting. I never thought this league from that night onwards would get as good as it has been. You know, I thought it might have crumbled halfway through, I thought it might have lost our drivers, but the commitment of drivers, I mean, the majority of these drivers on your screen here have been here since day one, which is fantastic. And the commitment's been great. Like I say, turn up every week. There's drivers here that have not had great finishes throughout the season, but they're here every week and they're dedicated to it and they want to improve. And it's been, from my perspective, obviously racing for about 6 races and obviously commentating the rest, it's been a great experience. And I hope people have enjoyed it. I hope they can go out on a high tonight. I look forward to the new F1, which comes out on Tuesday. But yeah, it's been a great season, and hopefully, like you say, Abu Dhabi's a great track. No danger of rain tonight like we had last night in Silverstone. So hopefully we can get a really good race and end on a high, because every race has been superb.
Hopefully J Wills has set the time to official. Hopefully it goes from sunset to darkness during the race. Hopefully he's done that. We've had a couple of times. We've had 5 minutes of the qualifying. 35.7 for Hobbsy, 2 seconds behind is Millsy. I'm sure he can catch up a little bit on that time. J Wills went wide of last corner. Reason why he's into the 38th, not the 37th. Luke, half a tenth behind J Wills at the moment. 6'4". Chip, half a second behind J Wills. He's 6'5". And J Luke on the hards, 39.5 at the moment. We've got a hard medium for J Luke, soft if there's a safety car. A couple of people put on some laps. Mike has just gone past turn 1. AFL down to turn 11. That's at the end of a second straight. Turns 8 and 11 are the main ones. Jacko is coming down to turn 8 now. So there's a couple of drivers that are going to put their first batches in, Kez. Already hitting the 35s. I expect some 34s a little bit later on.
Yeah, it's plenty of time to go at the limit. Still 12 plus minutes of qualifying. Absolutely no rush for anybody. Hobbs at the moment setting the pace in the McLaren, but I'm sure that'll probably change as we get towards the back end of qualifying. 21 turns tonight in Abu Dhabi. It's quite a lengthy circuit. It goes on for about 3.4 miles with 2 DRS zones, so I'm sure we'll be in for a lot of overtake, especially on the straights. We should hopefully, like you say, every race has been different, and hopefully that continues tonight. And it's race 16 of 16. It seems it's only been 2 months, but it feels like a lot longer. That first race of USA seems years ago. Genuinely, it feels so long ago. It's been a really good laugh, and like I say, hopefully if we can end it on a high tonight, then we'll be laughing. And I have absolutely no doubt that we'll be in for some great racing.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, initially started with 9 races.
We did.
I think. Was
9, yeah.
To 16. Jacko has crashed into the wall outside the pit lane, so Jacko will be joining Jelly, Mike, and J Luke at the back. Although J Luke's put a time into second at the moment, still wants to try and win. I'm sure as Mike goes second fastest, 36.595 for him. 11 minutes of qualifying to go. Kez, I've had a couple of questions in a private message.
Yep.
The drivers would like to know a bit more on the awards, and so would I as well, because I will, of course, get involved, but I don't know what your plans are, and I'm sure it's your league, so your awards, I'd like to know up the drivers who are watching what kind of awards they can expect.
I haven't really thought about it too much myself. I was going to have a look tonight after the race is finished. I think we could just do a few bits and bobs. I'll have a look tonight, a bit of a hint, maybe we could have like the best race of the season, but in terms of individual awards, we could possibly have the best individual performance of the season, let everyone vote. I don't know really, I'd have to do some research. My plan was to let the race is finished tonight and then have a look tonight and tomorrow morning and put it out there tomorrow. So I've not really done any research yet, but there'll be a couple of individual awards. I'll probably pick some myself. Me and Jack will probably as commentators pick a couple of winners, and then maybe we'll get a couple of votes out there as well. I don't want to give too much away, and if I'm being honest, I've not really looked much into it just yet. But you will be made aware of it tomorrow. I will have a chat with Jack, and we'll get into it tomorrow.
There you go, words from the boss. And Ryan Mills has just slowed down AFL. And Ryan Mills was trying to go on the runaway road to let go, but it looks as if, and I agree with AFL's point of view, it looked like Mills was just going to take the corner as normal. So AFL has had to back off because of Millsy. A couple of comments in the stream. I'm hoping Kez has drawn the track map.
I have.
I like to put it on my computer so I can have a look at other stuff. So hopefully Kez in the final race can keep an eye on the chart. I won't be able to, but hopefully he can. Favi Venom says, cheers lads, great commentary so far. He's also put no rush for me starting from the back. Chris Panda has put thank you for an amazing season and letting me be a part of it. Our pleasure. You two have done amazing with the Discord organisation and the commentary. Hopefully Jake and I at the back can give you some drama with a lover. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. Hopefully you have a good send-off as you deserve it. A couple of wins, a couple of podiums. You had 18 points after the first 4 races, now 200 plus. Great story for you, great story for other people, as we have 8.5 minutes left. And this league has been a good story from other people, and like we said in Britain, I will reward those who are committed and want to improve even more with a chance to race next year as well.
Well, indeed. I've put in the chat if anyone's got any questions. A bit of a Q&A now during qualifying, as it's the last race. Why not?
I mean, we'll take it.
And I've already been asked a question, Limmy. I've already been asked a question. What has been your favourite race? Now, mine personally, everyone's different. My favourite race... Wow, I'd have to go Belgium. It was very early in the season, 2 races in, and I believe only 6 of us finished. It was an absolute mess, Belgium.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember too much about it, but I remember it just being a madness. It was just safety cars for fun. It was chaotic. So I'll have to go Belgium. Personally, I'm not sure about Jack, but Belgium for me would be my favourite race.
Belgium had many moments that will go on the montage.
Oh, we got a montage, yeah.
I feel Monaco was the best for me, not only because it was incredible and Hobbsy got his first win of the season and only win. It was the fact that we had 5 cars left for nearly a full grid. Chimp going out.
It was 5, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was.
I thought it was 6, but you think you're right with 5.
I think Britain last night was superb. I think, to be fair, there's not been one boring race. Chris Panda's been disqualified as he wants to start at the back.
Another question, Limmy.
No, yeah, I was just
the questions are thick and fast. Sorry to interrupt. Mike says in the chat, Mike Whitty, best unexpected driver.
It's a good question. I think towards the end, Jacko, for me.
Yeah.
Consistent podiums. Towards the middle, Chris Panda, from that awful start from the first 4, not awful, but 18 points out of 4 races. For a driver that's got 200 plus now, it's pretty awful. Overall, AFL's done really well. 3 races. If we had to answer the question over a whole of a season, I'm not going to say J. Luke because I knew what he could do. I'd say Mills, just. Mine
would be Mills as well, funny enough. I just think I didn't expect much from Mills. That's no disrespect to him. I didn't think he'd be able to compete. And yeah, he's not got any podiums. Maybe that'll change tonight. But he's been consistently in there. P5s, P6s, P7s throughout the season. Had a bit of an issue with his connection for the last couple of weeks, which has let him down. But overall, he's been very, very, very consistent. And also Jelly. That may surprise me, people. I knew that Jelly's got a lot of quality. I knew that he'd be up there. But he's been very consistent, Jelly. He's pretty much been in the podium spot for practically every single week. Obviously, bar a couple of hit and misses. He's been very consistent. So, not unexpected in terms of him not being good, because I knew he'd be good, but in terms of how consistent he's been. And obviously, he's won the Drivers' Championship. So, he's been the best.
Yeah, Jaywick is on the run out. He's just going to get disqualified so he can start at the back. Next question, Kez. With 5 minutes to go, so you just make sure there's a couple of people on laps. We don't want to just get away too much. So Jaywick's going to start at the back. Mills has started a new lap on fresh softs. Lewis is preparing himself as he comes round. He starts the 3rd sector. We'll keep an eye on that. Mike has started his time. We'll go on board with him. We'll watch the 3rd sector from Mike, then we'll ask the next question. This is the double right-hander before Hotel, and people get this braking wrong. Saw Mills on my POV get it wrong a few minutes ago, and Mike taking the lines pretty well. And we've got 3 more corners to go for him, and you can actually get quite wide on the track limits. About half a curb for 4 tyres, as you can see Mike doing. Cuts in turn number 21. Can Mike take pole? It's a 35.7 pole, goes 35.9. Next question. Funniest moment in the season.
Ooh.
Chimp says taking out Max for being quick. Was funny at the time, but wasn't too funny afterwards. Funniest moment in the season.
I don't think we've had many funny moments, have we? It's very hard to have a funny moment. Off top of my head.
Mine.
In terms of me racing, or since I've joined commentary, or just as a whole?
All the season.
Since I've joined commentary, funniest moment I've probably seen was probably the Singapore incident with the 2 Red Bulls, because the commentary was superb and we had such a laugh doing it.
Oh yes.
When Mike went into the, did Jelly get took out and Mike hit him? I can't remember the full ins and outs of it.
So Jelly went into a wall, and then Mike slowed down to go past Shake, but couldn't turn enough, and then.
That necessarily wasn't funny. I'm not saying the incident was funny, but it was the commentary. It was your reaction that got me. That was the funniest thing.
Mike.
What about you?
My funniest moment is Jacob and Smithy on the hill in Belgium. So on the thing that was funny about it is that the camera was absolutely perfection. So the camera had a view down the Kemmel Straight. Jacob slid across, hit the wall. Smithy did exactly the same. Both while he's parked right next to each other in our wheels. That for me was the funniest moment. As Lewis crosses the line, runs out of battery, goes from 7th. Still 7th after beating nearly 7/10 of his time. Chimp's on a lap. He's just coming down to the chicane at the start. Mills had to back off his previous attempt, 2 minutes 30 to put in, so he hasn't been able to take another pit stop. Can Mills get higher in 6? His typical position. Next question. Favourite overtake of the season? We'll get this quickly done before we start flowing through the drivers.
Favourite overtake of the season? Oh, wow, that is a question because there's been so many good overtakes, and it's trying to jog memory back because we've done that many races. My favourite overtake of the season? Pressure. Let me have a think. Jack, have you got one? I'll have a think.
I can't remember who it involved, but I remember the piece of commentary. It was a double overtake. It was Jake in Hungary off a safety car restart, and he had to weave between two Alphas and an Alpha.
Yeah, the cars that were behind a lot.
That was a great one for me.
One of my favourites was last night, Smithy. Smithy got a really good overtake last night that comes to mind, but individual performance in terms of overtakes, Mike in Germany. Was it Germany? I think Mike in Germany. I may have got the track wrong, but there was a track quite recently where Mike absolutely blitzed overtakes for fun. And he got driver of the day, I do believe it was Germany. So in terms of consistent overtakes, Mike for me, because that night he was unbelievable.
Right, we're going to get into the end of quality. If you could try and cycle the drivers probably after the Red Bull that's about to cross, because Mike's going to start again. 70 seconds to go. Hobbs is on pole at the moment. Mike's just 2 tenths behind. Franco, we will read your question out. Mike enters the pits as well. It's the last batch. Drivers can cross the line before the minutes. And then, obviously, that is their final attempt. Good to see a couple of people higher up than usual. Hobbs and Mike taking nothing for granted. And hopefully we get, a couple of shock podiums, shall we say. Not shock, but it'd be nice to see some of the people that don't typically get podiums. Mills has had to back off again, Kez. Luckily for him, might just reach it. A lot of people retiring.
Yeah, people don't, aren't they?
And there's not actually that many cars coming through. Question is, can Mills get to the line in 20 seconds? We'll take a look. He's already tried 2 laps. It isn't an invalidation. He must have just gone wide. I think he just about will reach the line. He's got 10 seconds, 2 corners.
Yeah, he should be okay, just.
But he won't be able to use 40 hours. He actually comes into the pits. Right, who's on the lap? Hobbsy is. Luke's in front of Arab, but goes wide there. On POV. There's a Ferrari just coming through the final corner who enters the pits. AEK is on a lap with no battery. Favi Venom is on a proper lap, so we've only got 4 or 5 cars on a lap. Luke invalidated with 5 corners to go. So it's just Favi, Hobbsy and AEK with no battery.
It is indeed. We'll keep an eye on them. A couple more questions. Actually, I'm going to change my answer for the best overtake. It was mine against Mills in Monaco. Unbelievable. No, I'm only joking. But yeah, back to the questions. Franco says favourite race. We've already gone over favourite race. I said Belgium. Yeah, go ahead, mate.
We've got 2 cars just to finish the laps.
Yeah.
We've got Favi Venom coming round turn 21. He's in 12th. He's run out of battery. Can he take pole in Abu Dhabi? Takes 5th. Next car is Hobbsy. Can he improve on his time? No, he can't because it's invalidated. Qualifying is over, and we can go with some questions.
So Hobbsy gets the fastest quali point, obviously. A question. Mike says best driver battle. Ooh.
Oh, let's just do Pompey's first.
Oh, sorry, I've missed Pompey. Sorry, I didn't.
It was best race of the season.
Yeah, I just covered that. Just covered it.
Oh, did we?
I just said that we'd already said, haven't we? I said Belgium, and you said... I can't remember what you
Monaco.
said. Monaco. Yes. There we go.
That's right.
There you go, Pompey. Short and sweet. What was the question? Yeah, sorry. Trying to keep up with questions. Mike says best driver battle. There's been so many good driver battles, hasn't there?
I mean, I'll be honest. Jason J-Luke's last night was probably one of the best. It was 4 laps in intermediate conditions. J-Luke was messaged me. He actually ran no traction for that.
Yeah.
And he nearly got past Jake once, nearly twice, then eventually got past him after some wheel-to-wheel.
My best driver battle personally was Hobbsy and Jelly, because towards the start, we're going back a bit now, at the start of the season they were very, very close. Practically every race, Hobbsy and Jelly. Hobbsy unfortunately fell off the pace a little bit, which gave Jelly his chance to pull away, but early in the season Hobbsy and Jelly were neck and neck, practically all the time, getting podiums for fun. It was very, very tight, and they were the 2 favourites. So for me, Hobbsy and Jelly's the best driver battle. Funny how Chimp says, if you're on Deal or No Deal, what number box would you pick? Number 3, Chimp. Number 3.
And would you keep it?
Oh yes, stick with it. You can't change your box. You gotta stick with it.
Best for qualifying grid. Hobbsy to Arab, 1.1 second. Mike keeping close. Mike definitely will want to win tonight. So will Hobbsy, but so will the rest. To be fair, safety car in Abu Dhabi is definitely existent in online races. I've commentated on for sure. You did do a commentary on Abu Dhabi.
I was going to say.
One of the tracks that you actually have already done one on with the PSF1, where we saw LR Ghost. That was his first win of the season for PSF1. Saw a couple of incidents with their now champion Fruitful, crowned him last week, into the Turn 8 wall. That's the end of the first straight. Are you expecting some slip strips and faults tonight?
I am. I mean, Abu Dhabi, I was going to mention that. My first ever commentary with you was Abu Dhabi. And my last ever commentary on this F1 is Abu Dhabi. You'd have wrote it, eh? But yeah, it seems like such a long time ago, that, doesn't it? Abu Dhabi's a great track. And yeah, is it turn... After turn 2, you got on turn 3, you've got the bend, haven't you? And the amount of people who I remember doing a race with you in our private league, and you flipped your car around that bend.
Yeah, I did.
It's such a deadly bend, and if you go full power around that, there's a chance you'll lose your traction. I'm going to predict someone's going to go on that tonight, at least one.
No, you're absolutely right, and people don't forget that these cars will probably be filled with about 55 kilograms of fuel, which is about 48 more than what they have in qualifying. So the cars are a lot more heavier. They've already used the tyres, Kez, on a lap. Everyone has gone with softs except Jelly and J-Luke. Jelly is opting for a later stint if he can save some time. J-Luke, of course, going hard to medium and then softs if he can with a safety car, just because he's a little bit on the quick end, so we want to give him a challenge. We're heading down the straight for the first time, Kez. We expect after lap 3 onwards with the DRS that we're going to get loads of overtakes.
Yep.
We've got a cool grid of cars that are not normally 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can get a good end to a season.
Yeah, three of the favourites, Jelly, J-Luke and Chris at the back. So it's definitely an interesting scenario tonight, and it does suit the likes of Hobbsy and Mike at the front. But I do agree to see the likes of Luke, J. Wills, Millsy, Lewis towards the front it's nice to see. Mike Whitty says, Kez, will you be driving or on comms at LNR? To be honest with you, mate, it all depends on how... Obviously, F1 comes out on Monday night. I'm going to hammer it, and if I feel like I'm doing well, I will race. If I'm not feeling it, and I know that I won't be up to pace, up to standard, then I'll commentate, because I'm enjoying commentary. But maybe a bit of both. I'm sure I can discuss it with Jack close to the time. I'm enjoying commentary, but I also enjoy racing, so we will see. But definitely a bit of both, I would have thought.
Kez knows my view. It's whatever the man wants. If he wants to join the commentary box with the other commentators the league has, then he's more than welcome as a league commentator. If he wants to race, he's more than welcome to do that too, as a couple of these people will be racing as well. The cars are routing their way through the hotel section. Kez, it's the last time we're going to have a race on Formula 1 2019. Not just online, but a general race as well. Yeah,
for the 16th time on the grid in Hedge Racing, this is the final time. The final lights out. The final lights out you're going to do in F1 2019, Limmy. Don't bottle it like I did in Italy.
And I won't be able to start in 20 at home because of the situation.
Just very quickly, my funniest moment was actually Top Dog ruining my lights out in Italy.
That is a good moment. J-Luke's doing donuts before turn 21. As he
very confident.
His ties a little bit on the heart. Those hards need warming up, to be fair. I think Chris Bander might be able to go through him. As for the 16th time in Hedges Racing, the cars finally form up on the grid for the final time in Formula 1 2019. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable season. We hope you have enjoyed it along with us. We hope tonight's race is going to be a great one. For one last time, it's lights out and away we go. Hobbsy gets away well. Mike Whitty slips in behind him. Luke's already dropping back as we go into turn 1. The two racing points wheel to wheel, but Arab slips through as we route down to the chicane and the hairpin for the first time. Hobbsy and Mike have got away clean for two racing points. J. Wills and AFL.
He's off!
There's a montage clip of the curve that Hex mentioned. There's a safety car already flying across the screen. And that is our season over and a safety car in Abu Dhabi.
And it's the corner that I mentioned about 2 minutes ago in commentary that's killed him. He's absolutely flown into the wall of Racing Point, and the Renault versus Racing Point battle for constructors has took another twist, because Arav, 2 corners in, has gone, and as Limmy says, his season is over. Wow.
His season finale didn't even last 20 seconds, and that moves J Wills up into 4th, Luke's at 1 to 5th, and Chris Panda is now in 6th. And I'm not sure if that crash affected anyone else's races, but definitely what it did is exactly what I did in a friendly league. On the curb, the car flips, loses grip into a wall, the driver would have been killed, the car is a write-off, only 1 racing point left.
Arvo were devastated, Limmy. He's done so well, so consistently this season, and to go out what 2-3 corners into the final race will be disappointed with himself.
Turn 3-4, yeah.
Look, Chris Panda up 10.
Absolutely, safety car on lap 1 of the final race of the season. Who would have called it? Now, I would expect everyone stays out for track position. I expect J-Luke to pit for mediums. But, oh, here we go then. So, Hobbs is faking it a little bit. Stays out, and Mike goes in to the pits. Kez, if you can, try and keep us up to date with the pit. You seem to be pretty good at that.
I'll do my best, mate. I'll get onto the tyres now. I didn't think I have to do the tyres so early, but that is a situation we've been put into. It is mediums for Mike, very early doors. He comes out behind Jelly, his teammate. J Wills also wants the medium compound as well. And Jacko, Chimp and AFL into the pits. AFL on the mediums with a new wing. So maybe AFL and I have collided, Limmy. He's put a new wing on the Ferrari. Again, I'm jumping to conclusions, I'm not sure. But it's a new wing for the Ferrari of AFL that puts him down into 15th. So maybe there was a collision.
Maybe the position changes for those two, -6 and -13. So I'm not too sure they were next to each other. There might have been a couple of cars braking, avoiding the action, because the racing point came right across from the left side of the track on their point of view to the right. Vern Maylander in the safety car, taking us on a few laps. His birthday a few days ago, and I'm sure he may take the real drivers on a couple of laps tomorrow in the real race 10+2, if you didn't know.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to watching it.
As should the rest of this race. It'll probably do 1 more lap for minimum criteria. We will see if it does. We still will have 26 laps of racing to go. A long way to go, Kez. But you feel Luke, Lewis, 3rd, 5th, AEK up to 6th. Yeah. Start from J-Wick and Joey. It's opening up a bit.
It is opening up, Lemmy. A very early safety car obviously does that. It brings everyone back together almost straight away. 5 cars have pitted. That's Mike, Wills, Jacko, Chimp and AFL onto the fresh mediums. Jelly already on the mediums. J-Luke already on the hards. The rest of the boys continue to move the softs for now. Hobbsy remains into that P1 position that he started. Favi up 3. Luke got 1. Chris Panda up 12. He'll be buzzing with that. Will the Panda. But Arav obviously disappointed to end his race so early, especially when he started near the front. He was down 13. Arav. He started in the top 3 limit, I believe. So disappointing for him.
I caught it on my side, but I didn't actually. I wasn't streaming. It's on now, but I did get a good view.
I did as well. Yeah, I got on.
So, I mean, that is a montage clip.
It is.
It is a shame for the Racing Point driver, because he had a really good start. And you said in the formation lap and the qualifying that someone will take too much of that curb. If you take too much of that curb, the chances of recovering it before you even spinning is very slim. Yeah,
it's a nightmare. And obviously, you want to go full speed because you're going to go in the fastest you can go. But at the same time, if you lose traction on that corner, it's such a hard corner to save because of the speed you're going at. Obviously, if you lose traction while it's going at a fast speed, it sounds obvious, but you're not going to be able to control your car. And you saw Arav, he absolutely KO'd into that wall. It reminded me a bit of, who was it in real life who sat on fire? Was it Hulkenberg?
Hulky.
Went right into the wall, didn't he? It reminded me of that a little bit.
It's like Yeah, so obviously once your car loses traction at that point, the problem you've got, just like the Hungary turn 4, is because where the curb is, and it's not straight, you're still turning. So you're still trying to correct by turning to the right here. And the more you turn to the right, the worse it's going to get. Because the way to counteract is by going the opposite way.
Exactly, yeah.
So when you've lost the car on the curb, you're still turning to the right, which is just pointing your nose to the wall. As the safety car lights are off, and in about 30 seconds, Kez, we can get going again.
Let's try and see some racing, mate.
But yeah,
we've seen 2 corners of racing, and that's it.
You're right. Yeah, the past 5 minutes, we've done 4 corners.
If that.
If that, yeah, technically 3.5 as hour has gone. But if you just joined us, a couple of drivers do get a little bit late on the stream. It was a Racing Point skid, shall we say. I know a couple of people may have joined.
Got a bang, didn't they?
Try and make comments. A bit of a bang. That car is a write-off. Hobbs staying quite close to the safety car. He's fine to do that. He's just going to have to wait a little bit longer to get the pack going. It's Hobbsy, Favi, Luke, Chris Panda, the top 4, with a couple.
Mercedes will be happy, Limmy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get ready for the technically the first restart of the Abu Dhabi Yas Marina circuit, and we've done 3 corners, and the safety car is in, and Hobbsy rounds turn 21 with a bit of a backspin oversteer, and we're good to go again in Abu Dhabi. From Favi, from Luke, Chris Panda, Lewis, AEK, all straight across the line, following the rules very well. Bit of a gap from Jake to Greg. Jake must have got away well. Mills is in 10th. Mike's 11th. Got a good exit. Mike try and go around the outside of Mills. Backs off. Jay Wills is 12th. Down to chicane we go, Kez, and everyone's out clean.
Yeah, just on board with Jelly, Limmy. He's up 6. He took that corner really, really well, did the driver's champion, and he's around the tail of Jay Luke, and I'm sure the 2 of them will want to try and gain some ground and get towards the front of that grid. Both stuck behind AEK at the moment, but I'm sure that'll change as we go along. Mike down 9, but he did pit. I need to keep an eye on that because a couple of them pitted. But yeah, quite a safe start. Nobody seems to have struggled.
Jay Luke's the 10th for AEK, going wheel to wheel down to turn 8, and AEK's going to have to brake late. He's tapped Lewis as well. He was going a little bit too quick, but Lewis is okay. I think it was an alpha of Greg who made a position. Jelly is fine, but got held up a little bit. Closes the gap, allows Jay Luke to close the gap. Still 11th to 16th of the cars that have pitted as we start the third technical section for actually the first time. And Jay Luke gained a place from a corner cut. I've never seen that one insane. He gained a place, and he gets a 5-second penalty for it.
Yeah, Lewis goes really wide, Limmy. That gives Jelly a chance to overtake. Couldn't get it just then, but he's certainly on the tail of the Mercedes. It goes really wide, and luckily with that corner you get a lot of room when you go wide, and he's regained the position. He does collide with Jelly a little bit there, though, when they're getting really close are the Red Bull and the Mercedes, but Jelly, with his speed, does gain that position from Lewis for now, and he's on a mission. He's Jelly up 9.
Absolutely. Position changes from a safety car I've noted, of course. Chris Panton, Jelly at 12 and 9. Favi Venom is up 3 as we start lap 5, and AFL has been given a 3-second penalty. Got a drive through in Britain, kind of ruined his race. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Didn't happen on my first safety car as Hobbsy is leading the pack down to the chicane. Favi Venom is a yellow flag, and the turn again is a Mercedes, and he's retired. If we go on board, we maybe chip very quickly if I can just reach it. He's got on the curb as well. It's a virtual safety car as he's off a track. Oh, look at the damage from Luke.
Limit. We mentioned that corner. It's already taken 2 victims in 5 laps. We've hardly seen any racing. Greg gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag.
Could that have been?
I don't know if you've seen it, Limmy. Mike and Mills very nearly. Oh, look at Mills has got no. Is it? Oh, it's Chris Panda. He's got no wing! Chris Panda's got no wing on his Renault! I've just noticed that on the dynamic camera. His wing's gone! I was mentioning Mills because Mills very nearly brake checked Mike, and it could have been an absolute disaster. But it's Chris Panda, his teammate, that's got the damage. No wing on the Renault.
Absolutely right, and the virtual safety car's ended, so he's going to lose a heck of a lot of time. He's going to have to do a excuse me, a 2-stop for the remainder of the race as Lewis goes a little bit wide just in front of Greg on my screen as Lewis is trying to catch up on Chris Panda. Of course, he's got no wing and Chris Panda has to brake stupidly early, and I think he's going to cause some problems. And Lewis is trying to stay on the ball, trying to go around the outside hotel, and he does get the move. And Chris Panda is going to enter the pits, Kaz, I'm guessing for a set of softs or mediums for a 2-stop left to go.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, Limmy. Obviously, Chris Panda needs to be careful because at the same time, he's got damage, but he nearly killed Greg as well. Obviously, Chris needs to get into the pits. He's in the pits, thankfully.
What is going on outside the pit lane? There was about 5 cars that wanted to do different things. I think Jacko forgot, well, obviously didn't know that Chris Panda had a missing wing, trying to go round the pit lane to get through, but then couldn't. But he's all okay. J Wills is up into the points. AFL, Mills, Chimp, Chris Panda's of course in at the back in the pits. Half a second between Mike and Greg. Mike is on the mediums. He had to pit early he pit early from the safety car. So far, Kez, we've got the good thing for us is we've got a bunch of different strategies as Mike is about to go wheel to wheel with Greg's Game Centre, his new YouTube channel. Ad for you there, Greg, as they both literally neck and neck as we go down to turn 8 as Mike gets the harshest penalty I've ever seen. We can absolutely take it off if it affects him. But Greg keeps a position for now, and Mike is coming back at him with DRS assistant Lewis. It went a little bit wide on the old pit straight as well. Mike's going to have to get a double overtake. He's going to go round the outside. I think he could have dipped. Oh, doesn't get given the track from Lewis. Oh, and Jacko's hit, Greg has hit Lewis as well. Oh, we've hit again. Oh,
Greg's gone.
Greg is fully to the left as we enter the third sector. Too many O's, too many hits.
Limmy, I think Limmy's got confused and nearly went down the wrong road. It was so funny. That's up there. One of the funniest moments of the season. Greg does go off, and he's down to P13, which is a disappointment for Greg. But look at Lewis, Jacko, and Mike. If you get on board with AAK, you can see a perfect angle of the 3 of them. Greg was there as well. Unfortunately, loses a bit of traction and goes off. But this is a great battle as Lewis goes really wide, and Mike gets it. There's a collision. There's a collision, Limmy, and he's Jacko and Lewis.
Jacko.
Oh my God!
Situation.
It's a VSC.
Lewis wanted to enter the pits, but
they're both going to the pits now.
Lewis wanted to enter the pits, but Jacko wanted to overtake Lewis onto the straight, and obviously 2 Bergs don't go, and Lewis went into Jacko as he tried to get the overtake. 2 wing changes for them, another virtual safety car, 3 events after 6 completed laps. And Kez, it's now time for the soft runners to probably start coming in. It
is indeed, mate. What a bit of drama we've got there. I mean, you knew it was going to happen eventually, but 6 laps in, and we've had drama for fun. Luckily for them, both of them, they collided just before the pits. They got into the pits. Very, very fortunate, actually, in terms of where they collided. But what a start to this race in Abu Dhabi. And like you say, Limmy, 3 incidents already. 2 VSCs in a safety car.
Pack of 6.
Oh, J-Will's drive-through penalty. Happens all the time.
I'm not even going to go into it. Pack of 6.
Green light.
Routing down the old not the old pitch straight, but what they use for the Super Cups and stuff. Pack of 6 there. It's a Red Bull in front of Mike, and then literally separated by only 3 seconds all the way back to Favi Venom, who's got a new set of mediums on in a pretty good position. Favi Venom could definitely be possible to potentially go to the end. It's technically 42 laps on 100%. Doable, just. It would be crossing the 70-80% mark, but definitely doable. Hobbsy stayed out as it was only a VSC. I'm sure he'll be pitting very soon. Probably go for a 1-stop to Hans Kez, as we know Hobbsy. Jelly's 4 seconds behind.
What a beautiful overtake from Favi there, Limmy on Chimp. That was superb from the racing point. That front 3 have got a bit of breathing space, how you say. 10 seconds separates J Luke in 3rd and Mike in 4th. But Favi there was textbook on Chimp on I believe it was turn 16. No, sorry, turn 20 should I say, not turn 16, turn 20.
Oh, a second to last. Nice.
Yeah.
Mills has entered the pits for a set of medium tyres, and I'm sure he'll have a safety car later on to go with the softs. Jacko into 11, won't get past Mills as he's the pit lane is beautiful, and it also brings you out straight into the track. J Wills, of course, enter the pits. Greg is last after that spin after turn 12 and 13. Favi Venom on a new set of mediums has used DNOS to get past AEK. That puts him into 6th. And look at that little spell there. 5th. AFL all the way to 8th. Chimp separated by 2.5 seconds going down to turn 11 now.
Yeah, Limmy, it's a 4-car, is it 4? Yeah, 4-car race. I mean, it could have been more, to be honest. Obviously, we've lost the likes of Greg and Mills in the last couple of laps. So obviously, pit stops. Hobbsy gets a penalty as well, and they can all add up. Didn't catch it, the race leader, but not ideal. On the old soft as well, obviously, it's only a matter of time until he heads into the pits. Probably this lap, I would imagine. And then we'll take it from there, really. Favi goes, a lot of cars went really, really wide there, Limmy, onto turn 16. Tend to lose a lot of ground there.
Yeah, it is. It's a corner where if you actually brake and you try to turn at the same time, you don't brake at full. That's obviously because of attraction. So you have to brake a little bit earlier than what the line says. Hobbsy now enters the pits for a set of mediums.
He's come out in the pack.
That pushes Mike up to 3rd. Has he come out of the pack? Let's have a look. On board with Hobbsy in the dynamic view. He has to stay to the left hand side.
Oh my word!
Oh,
what a save!
Hobbsy's McLaren getting some elevation.
What a save from Favi.
Just like Arrow did 9 laps ago. And I caught the first little bit, but I didn't catch the main bit.
That was unbelievable from Favi, Limmy. He bounced on the curb, going into the wall, and he saved it. It was superb control from Favi. I must say.
Superb control, so maybe a superb overtake on AFL. Nope, he's going to wait. And let AFL maybe go wide a little bit to make the move on turn 11. So can he go on? Can he go from a saving of his car to half a lap later getting the overtake on AFL? AFL goes defensive already to cover the inside down to 11. And Favi Venom should, with the speed, just about get through. AFL is not going to fight that one back. And Hobbsy is just there as well with Chimp closing.
Hobbsy is there as well, mate. You're not wrong. He's right on the tail of the two of them. J-Luke closing on Jelly as well. Limmy just 0.3 separating the Red Bull and the Williams driver now. Going in to lap 10. Jelly goes round turn 21. And we are on lap 10. And J-Luke closing on the race leader.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. J-Luke, I'm pretty sure, running no traction tonight as he prepares for Formula 1 2020. No traction. It's not too much different in the corners. It's about the power. If you put full power on the wrong point, you will spin. Let's have a look if he can get close to Jake and make a move down the straight. Still keeping his heart on J-Luke. He knows he can go to mediums soon to the end. And let's have a look if he gets the DRS. You can see the traction just not helping him too much. I'd love to know how long this straight is. I guess at about maybe a kilometre. But here we go. Is he going to make a move, J-Luke on Jelly down the inside to turn 8? Jelly goes defensive, and J-Luke will be hoping. Jelly just breaks a little bit too late, but he breaks well. So does both. And J-Luke going out wide to the left hand side to get the exit speed, but he's on the hard compound, and it's going to hinder him a little bit. And here we go. This is for the race lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as the two go wheel to wheel, but no question, J-Luke gets past Jake, takes the lead in Yas Marina.
He does. J-Luke and Jelly, they were at it last night in Silverstone, and they're at it again in Abu Dhabi. Still a bit of a battle between the likes of Favi, Hobbsy and AFL. Favi got a bit of breathing space now, and Hobbsy got that P5 while he was commentating on J-Luke and Jelly over the Ferrari AFL Chimp in a respectable P7. He got P7 last night in Britain, and we're looking to get another P7 tonight and end the season on a high. Chris Panda and Mills, the Reynolds, 9th and 10th. AEK though on the old softs, and he's not yet pitted, Limmy. The only driver not to have pitted that started on the soft compound.
Yeah, so he can probably do one more lap if he can and go mediums to the end. There's no doubt about that. However, if he does take a pit stop, AEK, he probably will come out 12th as it stands. About a 22nd with a good exit if you get pit assist is on. So obviously the game will take you out of the tunnel just fine. Jelly, he's not giving up on J-Luke, and if he can just stay within 4 attempts at the moment, with a good couple of corners here, he might have a go. He is actually closed up, and the mediums, Kez, is obviously going to improve during the corners. Can Jake get the exit he wants? He's got a little bit of battery to work with, not much though. My guess is that he's going to try and catch up to the Williams now, and have a go down to turn 11, but look at that. His battery has gone from 35 to 15 after literally 10 seconds. And this is the problem next F1 as well. The overtake button, you can press it whenever you want, but it literally goes down 4 per second next year. Literally, it's ridiculous. He didn't manage to get past Kez. Hobbsy's close to Fabi.
Yeah, I'm on board with Hobbsy now, just as you mentioned it. He did have DRS, but didn't have any battery to close the gap. Once again, look at Hobbsy's battery, just 6% compared to Fabi's 70. That's the problem that Hobbsy's got at the moment. That battery is killing him. He's not saved it. AFL's lost a bit of ground on the two of them. He's now 3.3 behind Hobbsy, the Ferrari driver. But definitely a battle here between Fabi and Hobbsy, and one to keep an eye on. Hobbsy might get the overtake killing actually.
Just a bit of a tyre slip. Well, Hobbsy can't risk it through. Yeah. So there's 2 ways you can save your battery. The obvious way is to save it during the 3rd sector. You're not losing too much time, and it's the best way to save it as you're braking the most. The second place you can save it is where you're quickest on the track from the driver in front. Fabi Venom gets a 3-second bonus. He did cut the curb quite a lot there, Kez. I did see it on behalf of Hobbsy, and Hobbsy's exit speed down the straight. Fabi Venom does well to get away. Might be seeing an overtake. J-Luke's taking a pit. We're Red Bull 1-2.
Yeah, J-Luke onto the mediums. It is a Red Bull 1-2, and Fabi and Hobbsy continue that battle again. Hobbsy just a bit cautious. He's quite sensible actually from the McLaren, just backing off and not risking anything on the corners, waiting for the opportunity on the straights.
It's sensible until you're wasting
flag,
time by doing
It's Shelly! It's Shelly! Oh my word! What?
On board with Mike. Where is it? It's halfway down. It's halfway down the straight.
I don't think he's got damage though.
No, he has. Yeah, there's colossal damage.
I couldn't see it. I can't get the angle.
If you go on board with
okay, yeah, my bad. I didn't see it. I didn't notice.
Wait, does the wall stick out? Yeah, but there's no reason.
Oh, it is damage. It's the right tyre. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, clearly he's hit.
But regardless, we don't know what's happened. But the drivers' champion has gone, and the podium positions are opened up again. I mean, I don't know what happened.
I reacted quite quietly because I saw that it was on the straight and not the turn. Because the wall on that straight is actually quite far away. There's a blue concrete line, if you just go on board with Mike, around the whole circuit that separates the wall to the track. There's loads of room.
I mean, how was that not a safety car, Limmy? He was in the middle of the track.
Yeah, I mean, is there a controller problem? Is it a connection problem where he's just lost it?
I'm not sure it was a safety car. I know we've had 3 incidents, and obviously if we had one more then we'd be limited for the last 16 laps, but he's parked in the middle of the track. I was on board with Chimp, and Chimp nearly hit him. So I'm not sure how he's not a safety car there.
And the damage was off a track, so it should be a safety car, but it doesn't directly affect the drivers. Because there is still half a track you can go on, and you can't overtake in a yellow zone. So, I mean, was there a VSC?
Nothing.
Was it even a VSC? I mean, it is a safety car, 100%. It shouldn't have caused any damage. There's no simulation, so no one can get punches off damage on the track. But that is crazy. One of the widest parts on the F1 calendar, with a wall that's separated by a curb and a blue line.
Could you imagine if it had gone to tonight's race and that happened?
I don't want to, but Chris Panda's going to get his move on Chimp here. Moreno versus Williams, down to turn 8 under the Pirelli. I know we said bridge then, but the banner above, and Chris Panda is into the P5.
Oh, J-Luke says, oh, it's a Williams collision!
Oh!
It's a Williams collision! J-Luke was keen, no damage, but he was very keen. Chimp slowed down, and J-Luke thought, nah mate, you're my teammate, but I'm getting past you. Did knock him a little bit, no damage, but J-Luke now hunting down the Panda.
The problem with that is it slowed Chimp away from Chris Panda. It's probably cost him about 2 or 3 seconds.
J-Luke is keen, isn't he? Very keen, look at that. That is beautiful.
He's also got past Chris Panda as well. And Chris Panda's coming back though through the double right-hander. This can go wrong if 2 cars are fighting, but they both brake cautiously as we enter hotel section. We've got 1 more lap to go until we're halfway through the Yas Marina circuit. What a race it's been so far. The questions that we had before the race, some of them definitely have contentions already to be answered from here. And Fabi Venom is back into the podium slots. AFL 5.3, J-Luke 2.5, sets a 38.8 for the fastest lap so far.
Yeah, the majority of the 13 on the medium compound might wait to the race lead at the moment, does get a 3-second penalty there. going into turn 7. So I'm not sure what happened with Mike. Obviously, he can't catch everything, it's impossible. He got one early and he will appeal that one because it was never a penalty, but not sure on that one. But
Yes.
could we be on for a different podium tonight? AFL's up there, he's never had a podium, could be in contention. You never know.
There is still a large bunch of the top 5 drivers up there. So it may come down to a safety car or a retirement, as we've seen from Jake. We have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get in touch with Jake now and ask, just to get some information.
We are reaching a bit of a, I say a stale point, and it's Jaywick just flies past AFL down to turn 11. And Jaywick 6 seconds from Favi, 15 laps of racing to go. We've got a couple of questions as we reach a bit of a stale point. Now Jaywick's got past. Minimum gap other than that is about 2.5. Best commentator for Mike. We work well together, that's a fact. I think starting off it was shaky. Of course, we didn't know how each other was going to work, and the way we were bouncing off each other, how much knowledge and stuff. Obviously, I bring a lot of knowledge from previous experience, and obviously I know all the circuits off by heart mainly, know a lot about the league as I commentated the first lot of races.
Yeah.
So at first it was about seeing if Hedge could hold it, could at least hold a couple of sentences, could at least add some knowledge of Formula 1 into the commentary, of which over time he has increased and got better. He's now able to prepare and know what to prepare for, able to know when each other are going to finish. We know how, we've got 17 years of friendship, so we know how each other roll, if that's what we can say. So, best commentator as a pair, superb towards the end, of course. I think I'll edge it, but that's only because I've done 150 races and he's done 10.
I think you're spot on. I think you've nailed everything there. Limmy is the Martin Tyler, if you like. He's the experienced one. He knows his F1 inside and out. I'm like the Gary Neville, quite new on the scene, but I'm quite funny. Gary Neville's the best pundit in Sky Sports.
Interviewed Roberto Mancini.
I know. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you look how we've developed since the first race in Abu Dhabi, and if you can probably go back on Jack's screen and watch, I'm not sure if you can or not now, but if you was to watch the first race that me and Jack did together in a separate league on Abu Dhabi, it was an absolute mess on my part, which is normal because it was my first commentary, and it's developed now. And I've done a couple of races on my own as well, which I think's helped. Obviously, Jack was ill a couple of weeks ago. I had to do the full weekend on my own, and it helped me develop. Jack is the best commentator, there's absolutely no doubt about that, but he's got the experience. I'm more of a football person, but I'm starting to fall in love with F1 now, and it's I'm really looking forward to the race tomorrow. In real life, for example, I would never watch F1 a year ago, but it's definitely my second favourite sport now after football. So falling in love with the sport helps, if you know the sport and you can talk about it for fun, then you're laughing, aren't you? But Limmy's the best commentator, there's absolutely no doubt about that at all. Oh, sorry, Jack, very quickly, very quickly, I apologise.
Yes.
Jelly was having a drink of coffee and his hand slipped. He's just told me.
Wow.
So that is up there as one of the funniest moments of the season by far. He's gone for a drink of coffee,
well,
his hand slipped,
we can edit the crash,
he's gone into the wall.
Edit your message, screenshot your message, and then do the commentary.
He just told me now.
Wow.
There you go.
So Amrav has said in the chat after his... Oh, actually, just before we do that, J-Luke's going to probably have a go. And Chris Panda's going to have a go with AFL before that happens. Down to turn 8, Chris Panda 2 overtakes in 3 laps. Actually, no, let's have the same person. AEK is retired in the pits because he got severe damage from hitting Jacko in the back. Look, the first one wasn't AEK's fault, the second one was. And he'll know that. Well, what's his first name? I can't remember. Andrew. Favi Venom has overtaken J-Luke after a bit of contact. Oh, that's his car coming out of the pit, sorry. Just before turn 12. And J-Luke's going to try and go around the outside of Favi Venom, but doesn't go through just yet. As they both struggle for traction. J-Luke said, just watched it back for speed. F me. I got that wall hard, and then Pompey puts. I think that wall's worse off.
Yeah, it was a bang and a half, wasn't it? He flew into that wall, did Arav. Definitely a bang and a half.
And then Pompey says, at least you had a spectacular signing off to the season, well done.
He won't forget it, will he? He won't forget that.
Never.
He's up there. If we did an early retirement, he'd be up there for an award, wouldn't he? The earliest retirement. He's definitely up there for that, Arav, so Look at Arav and J Luke. Sorry, Favi and J Luke on turn 3.
Absolutely, and J-Luke's been trying to get past, and what J-Luke's doing probably is lean fuel, saving the battery until the straights, and that's what you can do. Now, what the thing next year, I will talk about it, because there may be an overtake done here. I'll talk about it after the overtake, because it is an important thing that everyone's been talking about. I think J-Luke's going wheel to wheel even before the DRS assistance is going to help him down the straight. If you remember in real life, the first 18 laps of Abu Dhabi didn't have DRS due to a technical problem. Luckily for us, that can't happen on the game unless a car actually has a DRS problem. Which someone in quali in Britain yesterday, I think it was Lewis, or one of the Mercedes, had that problem. So the next year, so this year, Kez, if you're behind a car, directly behind them, you can lean fuel, you can lower your battery, and they won't pull away because of the slipstream and the stuff. Next year, because the ERS is all automatic, you're going to be degrading the same as the car in front anyway.
Lemmy, sorry to interrupt very quickly there. Ryan Mills and Chimp in a battle for P7. Chimp went really wide, cut the corner massively. He's got the P7 back, but a very, very well-deserved 5-second penalty for Chimp there. He nearly took Millsy out. He dive-bombed it effectively. Got a 5-second penalty, and it was very clumsy from Chimp.
No problemo. 7th and 8th for them. Either way which happens, Mike is half a second from AFL on new mediums versus 15 lappers. Mike's got to be careful. And this, I wanted to touch on before with Hobbsy.
There's a collision limit! And Chimp and Mills are at it again, and it's the end plate of Ryan Mills has been affected. Sorry to keep interrupting you while you're trying to speak, but I had a feeling that Chimp and Mills would get a bit of a collision, and it looked like Chimp had brake-checked Mills going into, I think it was turn 18. Mills into the pits, which isn't great. And Chimp gets away, but it wasn't great between the two of them, put it that way.
No problem.
Go again, try again.
Softs now for about the right time to do 10 laps on. What was that? Yeah, so the Hobbs did before. So what he did is he tried to fake a move, but because it was too dangerous, he backed up. He did it twice. It actually cost him so much time. The best thing to do is just stay behind them and just wait till the straight. It's that simple. Faking's good, but you need to be able to do it in a position where you can actually fake it. Like, faking an inside to turn 1 here isn't really a fake, because the driver in front can take the driver's line. So it's not a fake. Mike and Chris Panda having a go, and Mike breaks late, gives Chris Panda over room. Oh, he comes in really well. Does Mike has a great move.
What an overtake
into turn
that is.
11 on Chris Panda. Give Chris a room. Then thought, nah, I'm slotting in.
Wow.
Good move from a Red Bull driver.
Christine Arnold will be over the moon without Limmy. What an overtake. What an overtake that is from Mike. Left it late, cut inside, see you later Chris Panda. That was routine from Mike. We mentioned earlier about how good his overtakes were in Germany, and that is up there for one of the overtakes of the season. That was incredible from the Red Bull, and he's pulled away from Chris as well and got a bit of breathing space. I think Chris said into the pits actually for a fresh pair of softs. Yes, he is.
Obviously helped by the extra tyre life Mike got. Only 3 laps old, 2 laps at the time, and Lewis, tried to get past Jay Wells into a P8, but had to take too much curb and got a 3-second penalty for Lewis. Jacko is just behind him as well. AEK leaves the session, didn't make it through tonight, and that is a Mercedes of Lewis entering the pits. Soft tyre changes for most people. Mills, Greg already at the back. Chip into the pits. Chris Panda for new mediums. Now, if he went balanced, he might not have had a pair of softs left. AFL is only 2.2 behind. I expect AFL's been driving really well to kind of catch up Chris Panda, and I would say, Kez, in my honest opinion, without crashes, I think the top 4 will stay the same with the massive gaps they've got, apart from the top 2 that may change, of course, but the top 4 drivers, and I think AFL may catch Chris if he has some pace.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it gets to the stage, doesn't it, where it starts to settle on track a little bit. The drama becomes less and less as gaps start to appear. Hobbs and J Luke still going at it, and both will pit again before the end, I would imagine. Maybe J Luke won't actually. We'll see. He might have to pit for the mediums that he's got going quite old. Hobbs, he goes really wide there, going into lap 20, and J Luke here should get the overtake. It isn't the longest straight in the world. He's Abu Dhabi, that's for sure. But J Luke will get the P1 going into turn 1, and he leads the race in the Williams.
Yeah, absolutely. Hobbsy will require probably a pit stop. The problem Hobbsy's got is he'll lose a position to Mike on good tyres. He'll lose a position to Fabi potentially, depending on how long he stays out. But if Hobbsy was to pit, the longer he stays out, the worse it's going to get. J-Luke's already opened a 1.5. I suspect J-Luke could just stay out. His gap to Mike 15.3 at the moment. AFL 2.5 behind Chris, only closed a 10th that lap. It'll be nice to see if AFL can close Chris Panda on the soft tyres. Chris Panda is driving well on the mediums though, as Jacko closes on J-Wheels.
Yeah, Jack on J-Wheels, the smallest gap at the moment on track. Other than that, it's quite a considerable gap between the drivers competing. Just 0.6 separate Jack and Wills. It was a lot less a minute ago. It has opened up a little bit again now in that battle for P7. Jack will be disappointed actually. He's got a couple of podiums as of late. I'm sure he'll be annoyed with himself that he's down in P8. I expected a bit more from him tonight in the last race, but he's down in P8. Got that. He does get that DRS on J-Rose and will close the gap. I don't think he'll get the overtake on this straight, but he will close the gap and he might get the overtake. Actually, he's going to go for it. He will get it. He will get it, I think, mate. I didn't think he would, but he was cruising in the Alpha. And he does get the P7 over J-Wolves for now. However, that should roll reversally. J-Wolves gets DRS and should close. AFL's left the session limit, which is not good. He'll get no points. Oh dear.
What was that?
AFL left the session.
Oh dear.
No points for AFL.
I've seen a couple of drivers allowed to join back. A couple of drivers not. There's two options, Kez. So when you lose connection, if you're lucky, when you back out, it'll say, "Would you like to rejoin?"
Rejoin by.
So if
you're
okay, lucky, it will say, "Would you like to rejoin the race?" It'll let you join the car. Sometimes it won't. J-Luke has entered the pits for softs, so I allowed that, and he's got a bit of a gap though. So what's the gap? 15.5 seconds to Hobbsy with 8 laps. He's going to have to do 1.8 seconds a lap. He can do it initially. Can he keep that up as the softs die out a little bit? He's got Mike to get past first. Kez already closed a second in what, 30? How many seconds is that on the Williams stop clock? 37 seconds.
Yeah, the tyres will start to wear, won't they, the softs pretty quickly on this track. There's no doubt he can make it to the end. Absolutely no doubt at all. But it's just whether he can maintain them. He's absolutely flown past Mike there.
Mike just thought,
P2.
Just go, Jay-Wick, just go.
We could still get a safety car, Limmy. We've got manoeuvre for it, we've got room. Could it happen? I very much doubt it, but you never know. And if we did that, I'd bring everyone back in.
Yeah, so we started the race. Oh, there's a small gap between J-Wills and Jacko going wheel to wheel through turn 8, and J-Wills has to cut inside to give Jacko the room. But who's going to have DRS? Here, would it be the Alpha? Oh, it is J-Wills who's got the DRS. But I think Jacko just got away okay. I think he'll close the gap, but not enough. Down to turn 11, little grandstand there. Isn't it crazy how a street circuit case, like Australia, but doesn't actually have that many seats, can hold literally 140,000. Sorry, 300,000. Spain, 140,000. Abu Dhabi, only 60,000. 60 to 80,000.
It's pretty crazy because how big the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is, and obviously it's a massive Grand Prix.
Look at the grandstand there, at the bottom of the hairpin. What a view that would be, all the way around. Of course, not that many seats, but it's incredible. I mean, so nice to see. And the race is getting darker. It should hopefully be dark. I would have expected it to be dark by now. Thinking about 100%. But a second gap's everywhere, Kez. A little bit of a point where we can relax a little bit before the next moment occurs. But any moment, you might have a coffee, your hand may slip.
Well, that's right. I mean, Hobbs, did pit in between all that. He's down to P4, and I spoke to Favi before the race, and Favi said, I've not had a podium in ages. I said, it could happen tonight. He said, there's absolutely no chance I'll get a podium tonight. As it stands, he's getting a podium. There's a long way to go, but as it stands, he's getting a podium, and Hobbs on the softs may have something to say about that. Chris Panda quite a distance behind on the mediums, but he's not out of it yet either.
I think Hobbsy could have won this race on those mediums. I think they could have gone to the end. I think he would have had just enough gap.
Yeah.
What, 8 laps to go, he had 15 seconds. It would have been close. yeah, maybe the right decision if he can get second. What is Hobbs's gap to second? It is 5.8, and he's got 5 laps of race. Oh, we're already on that lap, so we've got 6 laps of racing to go, and he's got 5.8 to catch. Very possible, but he's going to have to overtake Fabi, Kez, without losing time. Then he's going to get past Mike.
Yeah, it was interesting, Rob. He's done a couple of questionable pit stops this season. I remember the first race in USA when he had the win in the bag, Limmy, and he swapped to hards. I don't know if you can remember that far back.
Absolutely, yeah.
But he swapped to hards in the first race. He had pretty much P1 in the bag and came third. So it's not the first time that Orbie's done a couple of questionable pit stops.
He needs to get past Fabi.
He does, he gets DRS, doesn't he? So, possibly.
Just to not waste any time, his gap to Mike was 5.8. It's now 5.7. He just needs to close that gap, and obviously Fabi will have DRS down to 11, but I think the softs were just that way the exit speed. Yeah, look at that. The McLaren gets out absolutely perfectly. Needs to save his battery, does Hobbsy, through sector 3 so he can mount a push. 4.8 to Mike for a second place from a McLaren driver. He's got 5 laps when we cross to do it.
Yeah, you'd fully expect Hobbsy to pull away on the fresh softs, wouldn't you, compared to Fabi's older mediums. There's no doubt about that, no question about that. Obviously the softs are going to be quicker than the mediums for now. They will wear pretty quickly, but there's no doubt he can make it to the end. But it was questionable, like you say, Limmy, did he need to do it? I'm not too sure. Chris and Mills both getting penalties after each other there, Reynolds.
That was the problem. It was, does he hold out and try and win? I think he would have got second anyway. I don't think Mike would have caught with the time needed on mediums. So Hobbsy was going to get second anyway. So was it worth pitting, knowing that you definitely won't get first, but having to fight to get second? Or was it worth battling it out with old mediums to the end, knowing that you're going to get second anyway, knowing that J. Luke have 15 seconds to catch?
Yeah, just keep an eye on Ryan Mills, mate. He's he's lagging everywhere. Mills' connection's not good at all. He was ghosting then. It's not doing him any favours at all.
To finish this race. If one
it's not looking good for him.
5 disconnects in
maybe
the
6.
past 3 weeks.
It may be 6.
I really hope he finishes. He's put a lot of effort into the season, done very, very well. I did not expect him to be where he is in the standings. We will update the standings, including Britain's and Abu Dhabi results tomorrow, as will Kez with the rewards after it's done. But I didn't want to do the submissions last night. I didn't want to put anyone on the back foot early or have less of a motivation for the final race of the season. I just wanted everyone to be here tonight and have a good time. Unfortunately, 4 drivers haven't had a good time, but we have.
We have indeed, mate. There's still a battle for P7 here between Jacko, Mills and Jay Wills as well. Jay Wills lost a bit of ground there, but that P7 battle is wide open. I do feel that Chimp and Lewis are a bit too far behind to be contention for that. The gap now is starting to increase out, other than the gap for the battle for P7.
Jacko's gone wide at 8, and that might give Mills a good chance. And Jacko wide to curb too much, and that's going to hinder. How does Mills not have DRS? But Jacko does. I'm actually baffled, and Jacko's going to get that move done. Oh, Mills does very well. Jacko thought he was going to defend the inside, but instead defends the outside as a 2. Go wheel to wheel through this 11 to 13 section, and Mills fired through. Bit unfair that Jacko got the DRS there, brings J Wills into.
See, that's what you like to see, that we're 2 months into the league now, and the confidence of most of the drivers has shot into the roof. I mean, Mills going for overtakes for a start, you would never have seen that in USA in the opening night at all. So it goes to show how well everyone's progressed since the first night. If you went back and watched the first race, I don't know if you can do that anymore, but if you could watch it, the difference you would see in quality will be quite staggering. Between everybody, really, every single driver has improved in some capacity since the opening night. We're getting quite to the business end now, Limmy. Just 4 laps to go. The last 4 laps of an incredible season, and it is coming to an end. Oh, Jacko! And Jacko's retired, Limmy! Oh my word! I got it right on the stream. He flew into that wall. There's a safety car! Oh my word! Oh my word!
Wow!
That is hedge racing! That is hedge racing! 3.5 laps to go in Abu Dhabi. We thought the drama was pretty much done and dusted, and there you go! 3.5 laps to go, and there's a safety car which changes absolutely everything. Oh Oh my word! Wow.
Wow. So for the and J-Luke is having to come in for softs, but Mike is under Delta pace. Will Mike be able to take the lead of his Grand Prix? I hope he doesn't come in. He doesn't need to come in because the safety car will do 2 or 3 laps. Do not come in, Mike. He doesn't come in. Is he going to get in front of J-Luke to take the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? I think he is, and Hobbsy might as well. And
Fabi might.
Fabi Venom just past where's J-Luke. He's coming under the tunnel now. Fabi Venom can go as quick as he can. As you can see on my stream, the names of J-Luke coming under the tunnel. Who's going to get out first? Fabi Venom
Luke's down
is
to
into the top 3 in Abu Dhabi. And we have a safety car. With 3 laps to go, we know it will do 2. Could we ever, for the first time I've ever seen, end a race on a safety car?
I mean, that just sums up this league. We've had incredible moments, but that is right up there as one of the best, if not the best moment. It looked like the drama was done. 3 laps to go, pretty routine. The gaps were increasing per lap. I mean, there was nothing that was going to change really, but an odd position or 2 towards the back. Jacko went into the wall. I got it right. He bounced on the curb, flew into the wall. Did the Alfa Romeo, and a safety car with just 3 laps to go, and everyone is back in contention now because you throw penalties in there. Quite a lot of drivers have picked up penalties along the way. These standings now could be so much different in the space of 3 laps. That is incredible.
Now, I would request that you don't look.
No, I'm not going to look. Don't worry about that. I ain't going to look.
And why is the safety car got red lights on?
Wow.
The safety car lights have come off. The safety car is coming in on lap 26.
There's only 6 that have caught up. Everyone from JF Mills.
The race, and Hobbsy's got fresh tyres. So is Shayluke. No DRS, Kez. There's no DRS assistance until the end of the race.
Millsy, get your foot down and catch up quick. Millsy should be okay, but other than that, everyone from Chimp Down's not going to catch up.
He's coming in, and we are not ending the race.
Oh, wow.
And we will have 2 laps of racing. So there you go. There's the myth. You will never, ever end a Formula 1 race on a safety car. But what we do know is that we got to Chris Panda to catch the pack. Hobbsy, J-Luke on fresh tyres, Mike and Favi are not, and they couldn't have pitted because they would have lost position. Chris Panda gets a 10-second penalty, which means AFL and Mills might overtake them. And for the second restart of Abu Dhabi, Mike leads the pack. Hobbsy behind, Favi Venom comes across the line in 3rd, J-Luke 4th, Chris Panda's 5th. A couple of people have caught up, everyone accepts J Wills backwards, Lewis going wide at turn 1, Chimp having to tuck behind. 2 laps of racing, Kez, we route down to the hairpin.
Here we go again. Incredible drama to end this season. J-Luke nearly got sandwiched between Favi and the wall. Just had to turn 1, but he did back off. Very sensible from J-Luke. I thought for a minute he was going to get crushed.
Also, Mike, the soft tyres getting the exit he wants. And Hobbsy is now in the lead, but Mike might get some slipstream on Hobbsy as well. Is Mike going to fight back? He's like 27. Is he going to break down on the inside to turn number 8? I think he is.
Oh, Favi's coming from nowhere.
Favi gets involved as well. As those 2 go wheel to wheel out of 10-11. Mike struggling with the exit speed as we move.
Oh, there's a collision.
Hobbsy's in Favi.
Oh my God.
Hobbsy's into a wall like
Oh, he's going to get it.
Oh my Chris Panda. Ryan Mills, he's still 7th. Oh, Favi.
Oh, Favi's gone. There goes Favi. There goes Favi. Oh my God.
And the racing point is out as well. J-Luke has got past Mike to take the lead in the Grand Prix. As we enter the hotel section, AFL is into 4th with Chris Panda behind.
AFL's into 3rd, Limmy, not 4th. He's into podium position. AFL's on for his first podium.
We're on to now the final. Absolutely.
So Ryan Mills could be on for a 4th. Even Millsy. Oh
and someone
my
else is coming in far. Lewis flies through turn 2 as well. And now Lewis is on the back of Mills. Like he said, I didn't know. But, he picks up a penalty. Chips into 7th. Lewis and Chris Panda are going wheel to wheel for the first chicane. Chris Panda struggling for traction. Mills is into P4 at the bottom of the hairpin. We don't know what the penalties are saying, but AFL and Mills 3rd and 4th. Mike's fighting 2nd. Jay Luke's in 1st as we go down the main straight for the main pack on lap 28 of 28. Wowzers.
You are right on what you're saying, Limmy. I don't know what penalties are like. Ryan Mills could be on for a podium if he doesn't mess up and gets his foot down. There's another yellow flag. I don't know where the yellow flag is.
It's a Mercedes of
but
Lewis.
Chris Panda's got no wing. He's doing very, very well to keep up, Chris Panda. But what a mess up for Hobbsy. Oh, my word.
Mike has Chris Panda gets a 3-second pen, which might bring in Chimp as well. I know he's got.
Go, Millsy, get your foot down, Mills, go! AFL as well, two drivers here never had podiums, could be getting one here.
We know. Comes round turn 21 to finish off with fireworks. Abu Dhabi, race 16. It's been sensational. Mike comes round the final corner to cross the line in a P2. AFL crosses the line, takes P3. Mills crosses the line, into a wall. Chip goes 4th with no penalty. Beating Mills by 62 thousandths of a second.
Oh my God.
P6. Lewis watched with Jay Wills. Greg is miles away, but he can see the fireworks.
Funny
Abu Dhabi is absolutely unbelievable.
Let's come up for it. We didn't even mention Chimp, and he's only 1.8 off getting a podium. Funny how Chimp gets a P4 in Abu Dhabi. That is absolutely incredible. AFL gets his first ever podium. You could not write scripts like this. It is incredible. What a season. What a race. AFL, his first ever podium. Chimp with a P4, Mills with a P5. Hey, look at the gap between Chimp and Mills. 0.062.
62
oh my
thousandths
God.
of a second, half a second between AFL getting a P2 and a second for Jay Wills getting a P8. Now, of course, we can take the penalty off Mike. There's no need to. So AFL was always getting 3rd, but that is an absolutely sensational result for AFL. He's done 3 or 4 races with us, got points in every single one, got more points tonight than he ever has in any of the others, and Chimp with a 4th place by 0.062, probably sounds a little bit better than 62 milliseconds. 0.062 for 12 points for Chimp, and if you actually add back to the points before he got banned, which we might do just to see the standings, a vast improvement and beating everyone by penalties, and that is absolutely outstanding. I'm trying to wonder how I did that whole race without having a drink.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, we were sat there with 3.5 laps to go, and we didn't expect much changes.
I can't. Wow. Here's the final grid then. 15th to 1st for Jay Luke. Chip, 10th to 4th. AFL, 9th to 3rd. Chris Panda, 16th to 7th with 19 seconds of penalties. Without them, he would have got 3rd or 4th. 51 minutes of racing. Fastest lap to Jay Luke. 3 stops for Jay Luke.
Limmy, listen a second. This is incredible, but depending on submissions, and I have a feeling we could get a few submissions, Chimp may not be out of the reckoning for a podium just yet. I'm just throwing it out there. There'll probably be a few submissions. I don't know what, but these standings might not be done just yet. Chimp with no penalties is absolutely outstanding, and for me gets driver of the day because of that reason itself. To get no penalties for Abu Dhabi is quite incredible, and he gets my vote for driver of the day. That is absolutely outstanding. That is my favourite race of the season. I'm changing my decision.
He's changing the decision from a question 48 minutes ago that we were given on one of the streams. So it was emotional, but I am in no doubt ecstatic to say I would have never wanted Formula 1 2019 to end in any better way than that. Condolences sent to the drivers that didn't fully make it through, but the drivers that did, well, those drivers included, but the drivers that made it through made an absolutely sensational race. I'm actually honoured for that to have been my last commentary before Formula 1 2020. I will remember it for a very long time, as I'm sure Hedge will.
You know what?
From a
go finish off, mate. Finish off.
So I know, yeah. From a personal, I just actually want to say thank you, because that was amazing.
I was a bit concerned. I think people take the foot off the gas a little bit and chill out at the end of the last race. Them drivers fought for absolutely everything like it was the first race of the season there, and without them we wouldn't be sat here doing what we're doing now. That was incredible. From lap 1, Arav going out on corner 2, turn 2, whatever you want to call it, to that drama at the end, and Funny House Chimp getting his highest finish all season in P4. We've got a driver who never had a podium all season, get a podium there. It was just drama upon drama upon drama, wow.
I've seen probably about 150 to 200 races this year as a commentator, and although yes, these drivers aren't 3 seconds quicker than what is out there, what they do provide is entertaining racing, and it was great to see drivers that were even remotely frightened of going wheel to wheel with anyone in the first few races.
Exactly.
Now actually wanting to go wheel to wheel and doing it properly. I don't think, I mean, a couple of cars had a couple of bumps tonight, and that's expected. Not everyone's perfect, but actually wanting to make these overtakes. 14, 15, 16 races ago, it would have been a bit more boring.
It just sums up this league. I don't think we've shouted as much on commentary as we have there in the last lap of the season, which goes to show how incredible F1 is, not just in the game but in real life. You can have drama up until the last corner of a race. It is incredible. We were sat there with 3 laps to go thinking that was it, nothing was going to change. Obviously bar penalties there was no drama. Jacko going off track has caused an absolute madness there, and I mean, that just tops off what has been an incredible season. I'm gutted it's over, to be honest, but I'm looking forward to seeing what F1 2020 brings when it comes out this week. But what a 2 months of racing we've had. I'm privileged to have been involved. I mean, where'd you even finish with that? That was just it. I can't wait to watch it back.
You've heard me say on many streams and other leagues that I don't typically watch streams back. I normally tend to watch the lights out, the end bit. There is by no means of a lie. That'll be watched before I go to bed this evening, in full, from quality to the end. Kedge, the commentary was superb. The racing on the track from the drivers was superb. I'm going to go get a drink and end my bit, and then Kez can do his bits to end the league. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone in racing next year. Get in contact, I'll have a discussion, and we'll see if we can get you in a tier for next season. It has been thoroughly enjoyable. I've absolutely enjoyed it. I limited my commentary. I was doing 5 leagues a week. It's gone down to 2. It was Hedges and PSF1. I have in no way made the wrong decision. It's been brilliant. We'll get a montage ready. On behalf of myself, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see some of you in the next Formula 1. But on behalf of me, I'll let Kez end because I'm going to nip off.
Thank you, mate.
Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in Formula 1 2020.
There you go, that's Limmy done. I do apologise if he got cut off then. The weather absolutely pounced it down on my conservatory roof, and the Wi-Fi went a bit funny, so Limmy's speech may have unfortunately been cut short a little bit due to the connection. I've got another message on my screen now saying the connection is going, which is absolutely typical, isn't it? The season's about to end and the connection's about to drop, so if I'm a bit laggy, I do apologise. Quick, I'm not going to waste too much of your time. I just want to say thank you to every single driver that has competed. We've had over 30 of you since the opening night of USA to now. Obviously some of you have done the full season. To the ones that have done the full season, hats off to you. 16 races is incredible. To the ones that have joined midway through and finished off the season, thank you. And to the ones that are no longer here and quit mid-season, thank you to every single one of you, because without any of you this wouldn't have been possible. I really do appreciate it. As I mentioned earlier, there'll be some sort of awards tomorrow. I'll have a think about it, I'll have a chat with Jack, and we'll get some awards out tomorrow in the Discord server, so don't leave the server just yet. And there will be an end of season montage as well. Limmy is looking into doing that, and that'll be a great way to sort of look back and see what happened and you know, recap what has been an incredible 2 months. I started this league as a bit of a laugh. The league that me and my friends racing didn't really go to plan, so I thought, you know what, we'll start the league, see how it goes. Didn't expect too much from it. If you'd told me that 2 months later we'd done 16 races, had over 30 drivers and had drama like that, I'd have been like, no way. But I appreciate every single one of you once more for the support, and also the support on commentary, because you've joined my streams every week, you've joined Limmy's streams every week, you've supported us. I've enjoyed my commentary, I've learnt commentary from this. Obviously I enjoy the racing aspect, but to get an aspect from the commentary side and sit in a commentary box and commentate with Limmy is incredible. I won't waste too much of your time much longer. Can I just say one more time, I promise the last time, thank you all so much for tuning in on the stream, turning up week in, week out and providing incredible content for me and Limmy to tuck into. Congratulations to every single one of you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope to see you again on F1 2020. Congratulations to Jelly on being the Drivers' Champion. Congratulations to Mike and Jelly on being crowned the Constructors' Champions. And I will see you, hopefully, some point in F1 2020. Thank you again. Take care of yourselves. Hedge Racing out. Good night.